What's going on, guys? Little Fire here, and today I'm making a video about the Star Wars Battlefront beta. Star Wars Battlefront beta was open for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and I'm pretty sure it's open for one more day. I just wanted to tell you my thoughts and opinions on it. So, first of all, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I love Star Wars. I've loved it ever since I was a kid, and I was super excited to try out this game, and it's actually pretty fun. But there are some things that aren't very balanced with it, and there are some things that make it less enjoyable than I think it actually could be in the long run. And I know it's a beta, but they need to definitely fix some things that have come out in the beta that people aren't liking. And I'll just list a few here, but I'm also going to tell you the good things that I like, because this game is so nostalgic, the visuals are amazing, and it's just so fun to play, and it would be even more fun to play if they got everything fixed. So first of all, with the things that I liked how they set up the card system. If you don't know what the card system is, it's pretty much 3 or 4 perks depending on what you choose. And it can give you like a sniper rifle or a grenade or a jetpack, anything like that. And it was really fun to choose and unlock all these star cards because they're all fun and give a unique taste to the different battles that go on. You could have a jetpack on and you could flank around the enemies and kill them, or you could have a grenade and be the first one in the battle, blowing the other guys up and killing all the vehicles. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is in this game mode, the Walker Assault, the Rebels do not get a lot of vehicles. They only get X-Wings, A-Wings, and I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, and the Snow Speeders that can wrap around the AT-AT's legs. And the Empire, they have a whole buttload of weapons, and vehicles to choose from. Like right here, I'm going to call in a TIE Interceptor. You can also go to TIE Fighter. Along with, you can go on 2 of the AT-ATs, summon 2 or 3 AT-STs, and they just have more firepower. But in this game mode, people are complaining that the Empire wins a lot, but it's just because it's early on in the game and not a lot of people know what's happening. It's like their first time playing through it, and they haven't developed strategies for it yet. And I think that it's balanced enough in this game mode. I think that they could add maybe a few things to balance out this game mode, like the turrets for the Rebels. They're more useful for the Empire. The Empire can get it and lock down spawn locations for the Rebels, which is also something that needs to be fixed, spawns. But I think that they should at least add maybe 1 or 2 more vehicles to the Rebels, or at least give them more. Like, instead of having 2 or 3 X-Wings available, make it like 5. Maybe that might get too crowded and too overpowered, but still, that would be a fun addition. Some other things that I liked in the beta were that there were different types of weapons. Now, there are only 5 main primary weapons you can use, and the starting ones for Rebel and Empire are different, but you can eventually unlock all of them for either side. But there are star cards and battle pickups that give you different weapons. So there's battle pickups, you can get a rocket launcher or a deployable turret. While with star cards, you can get more grenades and a cycler rifle, which is pretty much a sniper, and it's actually really fun. It is sometimes hard to use because, just like other Battlefield games, the bullets, or in this case lasers, take time to reach the enemy, but they do not have bullet drop or laser drop like Battlefield 3 or 4, or any Battlefield for that matter. But it's sometimes hard because the different ranges, it's hard to tell right now how far lasers will travel. Sorry, I just messed up. But also, I like the way that they set up the weapons, because some of them are good for CQB, like inside the hangar for the Rebel Alliance, while some of them are good for longer ranges, and some are good for medium engagements, and they're all just really fun to experiment with and use. And you see a lot of people using different weapons because they're all fun and you can use them in different situations. Another thing that I really enjoyed was the battle pickup system, where right here you're about to see that there is a battle pickup on the ground for an X-Wing. That guy stole it from me and it made me cry. But those, you find the little coins around the map that you can pick up and either get a vehicle or a power-up with. And I like this because usually they're actually closer to the enemy's spawn point, which means you have to push and be aggressive to get these instead of just sitting back in your spawn and getting all the vehicles and just camping there. I think they did a really good job with it. And another thing I really liked that they did with those is they're balanced, but they're not overpowered. So well, except for the hero pickups, because they're supposed to be pretty good. It's hard to find hero pickups in this Hoth map. You can be Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber, or Darth Vader, just the normal Darth Vader. There aren't any variations of him. And those are really fun to mess around with too. They're fun. They have fun abilities, like Darth Vader has a force choke and he can throw his lightsaber. And also, Luke Skywalker, he can force push, so you can take out a bunch of snow troopers at once. And all I think about is trying to find the hero pickups because they're just so fun to use. And you can see right there, I crashed the X-Wing, and this is kind of getting into the bad things about the beta. The vehicles that were fun, they were fun to use, they were fun to maneuver, but they just didn't feel right. Like the X-Wings and the TIE fighters and all the fighters that were up in the air, it would have a weird turning system where it would put you on a different angle of position if you went down and tried to shoot ground targets, which I found was really weird. I also found that this, and for turrets, and especially for the AT-AT turrets, the crosshairs do not match up from where the bullets or lasers go. If you're in an AT-ST, I noticed this right when I got it, is that if you fire a rocket at a certain area, the rocket won't go even inside the crosshair area. It will go outside to the left. And it's very inconsistent and hard to use. You can still get kills with the turrets on the AT-ATs and AT-STs, but it's just hard, and it's just not very convenient for the players to use. They have to try to memorize the patterns that all the crosshairs come with, because the lasers usually never even hit them. One thing they could also fix is probably the cooldown times for the star cards. The cycler rifle and the thermal detonator in general, they reload really fast. You can use them and then it'll be back up in about 6 to 8 seconds. And I think that's kind of overpowered, considering that the cycler rifle, if you get a headshot, it's an instant kill, and if you get a body shot, it's 90 to any part of the body, which you could literally just pull out your blaster and give one shot to them and kill them instantly. I also think that the maps should be a little more confined, and the booster pack, the jump pack, I can't even remember what it's called. It should be nerfed just a little bit, because I feel like it's too easy to get up onto hills. Maybe change the height and make it more of a transportation power up instead of gaining height on your enemies, because it's really glitchy to get up on to some of these hills, and some of the only ways you can get up onto them is using a jetpack, and some of them it's really hard to hit because you can just head glitch on top of the hill, and it just makes the gameplay feel kind of sloppy in a way, where you can't hit your enemies and they're up in a spot where you can't reach if you don't have a jetpack, and it's just kind of unbalanced and just sloppy. The final thing that I wanted to talk about is how the game plays out in general, and I know what I'm recording with right now doesn't show it in its true form of graphics, but this game is beautiful, and I think that if you're a Star Wars fan, you can really enjoy it and just have memories of the movies when you were little. I know I had a lot of memories come back when I was watching this, sitting down on my couch, just all little. I can't remember how old I was when I watched the first Star Wars movies, but this is so nostalgic. But the one thing I'm worried about is replayability, and what I'm talking about is there isn't a whole lot of content in this, and I know I've played more than probably 10 hours on this beta, but partially that's the reason because I've never played it before, and I feel like sometime the lifespan of this game is just going to die, kind of like it did with Battlefield Hardline, because there isn't a lot of content with it. Sure, it's going to be fun to explore all your favorite planets and maps that you know from the Star Wars, all the trilogy, and they won't have the first 1, 2, and 3 movies, which I don't really like because those are some of my favorite movies. The second one by far is my favorite movie, but it'll only have the 4th, 5th, and 6th, which limits their creatability. I think that's the word, and it will also just diminish the way that people perceive the game, because if the more characters you have, the more familiar faces you have, the more familiar guns and places you have, the more people want to play, because it just feels so nice to actually have a place where you can remember and put a name to. And I think that's kind of important to this game, because the whole point of this game is to make it so that it's fun, but also that it's nostalgic for people who love Star Wars like me. But still, will they be able to produce enough content to keep this game running for a year or more? I don't know. But this has been Little Fire Gaming. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Star Wars Battlefront beta. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe. Anyways, have an amazing day.